Stitching, upload, and saving your captured images is an important step in the process of creating a final Gigapan photograph. Here's how it's done. Once you've saved the images from your camera to your computer, open up your chosen stitching software. We offer a number of software options on our website, including Gigapan Stitch or Stitch EFX. For this video, we'll be using Stitch EFX, but the process is going to be the same, whichever of our Gigapan Stitch softwares you choose. With Stitch FX open, go ahead and click on Add Images. This will open a window for you to browse your computer, locate your saved images. Find the images, select them all, and click Open. We'll go ahead and use the images we had from our tutorial on your first Gigapan, and then you click Open. When the images load, they may first appear jumbled. Stitch automatically defaults to 5 rows. You can see that here. And you may have shot your pano with 3 or even 300. All you need to do is just adjust the number of rows to correspond with the number of rows in your Gigapan, and everything should be lined up fine. Another thing to take into consideration is your shooting pattern. Our Epic robotic mounts shoot in 4 different patterns. You have columns right, columns left, rows down, and rows up. I happen to shoot this in rows down. There's some other stitching options here which you can see below, which are vignette correction, combine images in draft mode, build panorama at 50% scale, use a larger blending region, and Mercator projection instead of spherical or equirectangular. For simplicity here, we're just going to do the vignette correction one. Click OK. Now you can see they still don't quite line up, so what I need to do is just now the number of columns here, and there we go. So that lines up, and that looks like it's ready to go. When the images are imported and everything is lined up, you go down here to the bottom right and you click Save Selection and Stitch. You do that, a window opens up, and what you need to do is just make sure where it goes. We like to put them back into the same folder where we grabbed the images. That may not be the window that automatically pops up, so just make sure that that's where you put it. It's just recommended from an organizational standpoint. Then you would just title it. We're not going to save this one because I've already got one saved here. You'd title it and then you'd press Save, and it would start its stitch process. For speed reasons here, I'm going to go ahead and open this same image, but already stitched. So as the image does start to stitch, a progress bar at the bottom, you can see when it starts to stitch, this tab opens. This progress bar starts to populate. It starts off pretty slow, but then it gathers some pretty good speed. The amount of time it takes to stitch will depend upon your computer, its processing speed, and the number of images that are input. However, once it gets to 35%, you will be provided a in-preview or an in-program preview that you can zoom in and zoom out of like this. And you'll be able to move in and out, navigate in and out. Pretty simple stuff. You'll also, depending on the size of the pano, it might appear to be pinched in the middle. And you can see this one, if you look at it, it's kind of got that bow tie shape. This is nothing to worry about. It's simply the perspective from the way it was taken, and once it's uploaded to gigapan.com or saved to your desktop, it will be displayed as a flattened rectilinear image. So after the stitch is complete, a little window up here will say stitching is done. You just would press OK, and then you have a couple of options here. The first option is to save it to your desktop to do further editing, like cropping, for example. You'd go to File, and you'd go Export Stitched Image to, and you've got 2 options here. There is TIFF, and there is RAW. TIFF supports up to 4 gigs, and when you save this, you'll be able to input a file name and save to your location of choice. When the file exceeds 4 gigabytes, the program will alert you and guide you to save it as an Adobe RAW file here. Once your file export is complete, what happens is information about the dimensions and settings pop up. Take note of that information, because when you go to open your file in Photoshop or one of your preferred editing programs, you'll need to input these details. The second option that we have is uploading. And all you do is you can see in the lower right hand corner down there, sorry, let me go back here, you see upload. Click on upload and this screen populates. So we'll just label this test, and we're going to go ahead and start the upload process, and I'll explain it. There we go. To do this, again, you press the bottom right hand corner, it takes you to upload, and the upload tab opens up. You'll need to enter a title, a description, and each of these have to be at least one character. There's a tag option, and tags are like keywords, and this allows all users on GigaPan.com to find your images, as well as help them to show up in search engines like Google. We highly recommend adding tags for this reason alone. You also have the option of marking it as private. When you mark something private, it's viewable to you, and there's a specific URL that it's given. That URL can also be handed out to other people so that they can view it, but it's not something that would be viewable on GigaPan.com through the rest of the users. Let's see. So as you can see, this is cruising along pretty good here. You've also got, once you've entered in your title, your description, tags, whether you've marked it private or not, you enter your username and your password for GigaPan.com, and then you just press upload, and it starts and it goes through its process. If you haven't already, you will be prompted to become a member of GigaPan.com, which must be done to complete the upload. There's no charge for this, and you get the benefits of uploading, storing, sharing, and the ability to embed the images that you create. After you complete the information for your image and you enter your username and password, again, it starts to upload. And the progress bar at the bottom of the screen appears. Once it's complete, a tab will open with a link to a new Gigapan image, which you can see, here we are right here. And with this unique link, you can share your image with anyone, taking the user directly to the image and an online viewer. And you can see very simply, you click that link, and we load, and there is our image. And you also will see here that it is displayed now in more of a rectilinear fashion. It does not look like this bow. So you can see that it is all flattened out. You've got our wonderful viewer that allows you the fluid motion of zooming in and out, the option to go full screen, the option to take snapshots, and everything else. So thank you for watching, and look for more tutorial videos on our website or YouTube feed.